I was attacked by a delivery driver um, who I feel attacked me because of my gender dysphoria. Um, that's about it.
Did he say anything to you
Yeah, he called me a freak, a tranny bitch, uh, fat cow and everything, loads of different names.
So was this like just so he was dropping off a takeaway for you and then he just
Yes.
started hurling abuse at you based on
Well, we had a disagreement regarding payment for the food um, because I'd ordered a takeaway from one place and through Just Eat, the Just Eat app. Then I got a message from Just Eat saying they'd cancelled my order. And that one was for cash. But then I went to the shop, got a bottle of wine, ordered a different takeaway, and used my card. So when this takeaway turned up, I assumed it was the second takeaway. They they then asked for cash, and I said no. I paid on card. And that's the way I felt. So it was just a disagreement, and that's when he started to shout things at me.
and how did that make you feel when he was shouting?
Well, shouting. I just wanted to grab my food and then just walk away. And that's when he came after me. And then he grabbed the food off me, kind of chucked it to the floor. I reached my pocket to try and phone the police. He then grabbed my phone and then went to go back to the car. I grabbed at him and tried to get my phone back. Eventually, I did get my phone back. Then I came back through the gates because we live in a secure place with secure gates. And then he followed me. He pushed me to the ground. Well, first he punched me in the side of the head. Then he pushed me to the ground. And he started hitting me with his coat and stuff. And then someone came out of the security office, and he just ran. That was about it.
What was going through your mind when all that was happening? What were you thinking?
Well, when I was on the ground, I knew that I couldn't defend myself, so I was really scared. And to think it was just, I wasn't sure what it was about. I knew that he'd call me the names and things, but if someone has a small disagreement over food and stuff, it's no reason to be that violent.
Did anybody come out to help you when that happened?
It was just when the guy from, well, he works in an office. He came out, and when he shouted, that's when he left, and it was them who then called the police.
Did you have any evidence of what happened to give to the police or anything? To
No,
was there any witnesses or anything?
just the guy. There was meant to be CCTV, but that's now been deleted because it took the police so long to get in touch. It's on like only keeps it for a month sort of thing.
Yeah. How long did it take for the police to get back to you about the incident?
2 months.
Did anybody come at the time of the incident?
No, no one came out.
No one came out?
No one came out at all. No.
How did that make you feel?
Like it wasn't important enough. That well, about a year or so ago, I saw big banners talking about how they're doing this big campaign about hate crime, and then when no one coming out, I thought, oh well, they were just all talk then, really, aren't they?
Well, when the police did eventually come, did they make you feel at ease at all or any more secure?
Yes, they did. When they finally did come after the 2 months, the police officer did explain that he hadn't even had it on his desk for a month from the main police station, and at that time he was actually on holidays and stuff, so he couldn't really do anything. And I think it's just with the police, they're just too slow at getting to things because there's just not enough police officers, I don't think. But he was sympathetic, and he did take the statement. So.
A police officer I've spoken to said that the way they're trying to deal with the crime is they're encouraging victims to confront the attackers. Would that be something you'd be willing to do, and if so, what would you say to your attacker?
if I was to confront him, obviously it'd have to be in a secure place. And I'd just ask him, why? Why does he feel that? Just because of my medical reasons and my lifestyle? What gives him the right to then attack me for that with something that he doesn't believe in? I mean, I don't believe in Catholic. I don't believe in religion, but I'm not going to go into a church and hit people just because I don't believe in them. Do you know what I mean?
How did it affect your life? Have been attacked in that way? Did it stop you from doing anything?
But for the first week and so, I wouldn't answer the door. My boyfriend had to answer the door and things. I wouldn't really go out, especially at night. And I shouldn't have had to feel like that. And I was having bad dreams and things. Dreams of that he was going to come back, because at the end of the day he was a delivery driver who had my address as well. And I think that's one of the main fears of. That's why I was getting my boyfriend to answer the door and things. Yeah, so it was quite scary at the time.
Have you tried to contact the place where you ordered from to try and to inform them of what happened or anything like that?
No, because then if I complain to them, they might pass it on to him, and then I just don't want them to be able to then come to my address.
Are you afraid you might do something again, or?
Well, I don't know, so I can't say. Yes, he could, or yes, he couldn't. I don't know, and that's the worrying thing, because you just don't know.
Are you confident in the police handling of it? Do you think that they're doing enough?
I think the police. Now that I've spoke to the police, it was more the weight, and I didn't think they were competent in the weight. I think someone should have come out, even the next day or something, just to take a statement. But just waiting 2 months before someone saw me, I didn't really think that was competent enough.
So what would you suggest the police do to improve the way they handled the incident?
I think that when it's a hate crime, it should be higher than it is now. It should be, right, well, we have to definitely look into this a lot quicker and not just pass it around. I was trying to get in contact with the LGBT officer, and there's no number for her online. I even phoned the LGBT Foundation. They couldn't find her number at all. And it was just, even for someone to contact her, I think would be a lot easier.
So the lack of communication and being able to contact someone who
Yeah.
made the situation all worse.
I mean, I was getting letters from victim support before I'd even seen a police officer, and it's like, why? How can they be so quick and the police can't?
So did you feel like not continuing to process the crime because of that?
No, quite the difference. It just made me more angry with the police. So I was calling it, and it wasn't until I spoke to an inspector that, pardon me, that then things for me started to move a lot quicker. And they said, "Oh well, we're already going to come and see you," but weeks before, the police officer said that he would come to see me on a Saturday night, and he didn't. He just didn't come. He said, "But if I can't make it, I'll email you." There was no email, and he just didn't turn up. And then I started having to phone them again.
So did you feel let down by the police and the way they've handled it?
Yeah, so far, yes. Well, before I'd actually spoke to a police officer, that's how I felt. But now that I've spoke to the police officer, I can understand it's not his fault at all. I think it's just the whole police system.
So you think the system needs like an overhaul?
Yes. Having a response time to victims a little bit more.
Because they are suggesting that they're trying to do a lot more in relation to hate crime against the LGBT community. Do you think that's sort of like a media frenzy that they're not?
I think that's just publicity. I've never seen an improvement in that yet.
So you don't think they're doing enough at all?
Not yet, no. I hope it is going in the right direction, but as someone that's had to go and use the police, I've not seen that yet.
So you think all the attending of the events and stuff and banners suggesting that they're trying to be more helpful in relation to hate crimes, just a load of rubbish?
I wouldn't say it's a load of rubbish because I'm sure that the police officers are involved in like going to events and things. I'm sure they think they're doing good, but then they're not following it up. I mean, there was a few years ago I went to a Blackpool event and they were the same. I tried to tell them about an attack and stuff, and they just did nothing. And I even went to an event to try and chase it up, and they said they'd look into it, and I never heard from them again.
So you think they're just downplaying the hate crime?
Yeah.
Rather than dealing with it?
Yeah, I think they need to stop talking about it and just deal with it. Stop saying they're going to do this and then not following it through.
Is this the first time you've been victim to a hate crime?
No. Again, I was in Blackpool, it wasn't in Manchester. I was mugged and attacked on my way home from a club. And it turned out later we were actually being followed from that club. It was a gay club, and it wasn't just me who had been attacked. Then I ended up in hospital because I tried to get away from them, jumped over a wall, didn't know how deep it was at the other side, and shattered my heel bone. Then I was in hospital for 6 weeks. CID officers came out, and that was the last I heard from the police. They never followed up or anything. And then while I was in hospital, the people were arrested. Not for me though. They'd actually went on to kill someone with the same metal bar they tried to attack me with. And then I tried to tell the police it was the same people, and they didn't want anything to do with me. They were just more interested in that because it was a murder. I mean, I just felt, well, does it take me to be murdered before you actually take anything seriously?
So you felt like because of the murder, they downplayed what happened.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't even try to re-interview me or say, "Is it these people?" If they took me to an identity appraiser, I could have said, "Yes, it's them." And I thought maybe that might even help their case against the murder because it shows they've been doing it more and more. I don't know what they would have done, but police just weren't interested in me at all.
In terms of the attackers, do you think it's ignorance and a lack of sort of education that makes them?
Yes, definitely. A lack of education. And, well, because being trans is kind of getting more rights and more rights as it's coming up, we're not quite there yet.
What sort of advice would you give to anybody else who's been in your situation that might have experienced that kind of attack?
Keep going to them. Pester them. Write letters. Go above their heads. Just keep going until you get somewhere.